So give us a second to get set up and get going. So this is going to be for Lapeer County, and this is going to go until 6:45 p.m. This is going to be for 60 mile per hour winds as well as 1-inch quarter size hail. We'll go ahead and get some areas here just a second as we get everything set back up here with our streaming software. It just popped in, so give us 1 second.
It's quite the core from. I'm still on the Gaylord radar from earlier, but it looks like it has quite the core from that radar site. I've got to check Detroit.
Yeah, so looking at a few things here. I'm going to take the radar Omega here first. We can get this going. All right, cool. So the split screen, excuse me, look at the hail core on this. So oh wow. So look at the left side of your screen. That's your typical radar. You see typical radar, just your heavy rain there, but the purples and reds in there, that could be your large hail heavy rain. Look at the right side of your screen. This is basically a hail tracker. So it's pretty much maxed out. The hail indicator on this on GR2 is indicating hail close to 2 inches in diameter. I'm not going to say it's getting to that point, but definitely could see some quarters out of this for sure. Again, this is going to be a severe warning here for Lapeer. Thank you, Joel. I believe you edited that title. I did not catch that until now.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. I was just thinking about that. I think it still said the county up to the north there, so that's good. But so this hail core, we're going to go ahead and take the hail tracker live full screen and get this tracking here. Going to animate this and get an idea of where this is heading. So the winter's big old ball here. We're going to call it a big old ball of hail. So it's going to be over Columbiaville. Other areas here between Highway 24. This is going to be Marathon Road. It's going to be basically moving east-southeast, almost south here, directly toward the city of Lapeer. So if you are in Lapeer, anywhere from Elba to Lapeer, we're going to go ahead and call Attica, even though Attica's outside that warning. And if you're between Attica here all the way over to Elba, if you live in this yellow box, you should be inside, away from windows. No need to take shelter at this point. We're not thinking tornadoes with this, although there was a land spout earlier up by Cass City, although those are typically weak in nature. So we're not too concerned here for any type of tornadic activity. But hail that is quarter size can still dent your car. It can do some roofing damage and, so on and so forth, siding damage, stuff like that. So you definitely want to be indoors, away from windows when the storm passes. Looks like the hail core is actually growing on the latest scan there. So again, this is going to be toward the Columbiaville area, moving pretty much due south here toward Lapeer. We're going to take a look at some of these roads here and test out some there we go. Test out a new background here. Gives us some more road names to list off here. So this is going to be over Columbiaville, heading into Lapeer. Lots of lightning with this too. It's going to be right along Marathon Road, German Road, zooming even further, looking at Stanley Road, Thom Road, McKean Lake Road, Coulter Road. The bulk of this is going to be basically over the city of Columbiaville Road. Wolverine Christian Service Camp looks like it's over there. Lee Valley Road, Clam Road, Peters Road. Just some general idea of where that is currently at. Again, this is moving pretty much southeast here at roughly 20 or so miles per hour, right dead center for the city of Lapeer. So best we can tell you guys at this point is if you live anywhere in this yellow box from Lapeer up to Columbiaville, over to Elba, over to Attica, get inside. And if you do have some time living in Lapeer, you do have some time right now to move your cars into their garages if they have garages, moving alongside your houses, just kind of protect it from hail any best you possibly can. You still have some time before the storm gets to you, but you don't have much time, so do it now. But otherwise, you need to be indoors pretty much immediately with this storm approaching you from the north. Looking at a few other areas around the state here. I'm going to take a zoom out here. We did have a land spout up here on this cell near Cass City. although we're not really seeing any new confirmation of that occurring. But it does have some parameters up here toward that thumb area that can, what we call, be kind of spinny, so to speak, but it's not going to be for tornadoes. It's more so just for that cold air funnel / land spout type of thing. The parameter is called non-supercell tornadic parameter, and there's actually a bullseye up there where that occurred. So it's not surprising, but it's not tornadic, not concerned for those today. And then also looking across the state, aside from the thumb, again, just some scattered pop-ups here back toward the North Lansing metro area. These are just going to be general rain showers here. One or two of these could be strong this evening, but overall, they're going to pop up quick. They're going to pop back down fast. All right. A couple other ones to note. We have a cell down here in Washtenaw County near the Napoleon area, heading in toward Bridgewater. One near Milan just popped up. And back over here toward Kalamazoo, we have these random pop-up showers that are just taking shape here. This little specks of rain with some lightning and maybe some small hail, but a couple of these are sustaining themselves. This is a second warning we've had today. So just pretty much isolated in nature, typical summertime fashion. Nothing too major is expected. I got some comments here. Haley asked, "This is a storm I should pay attention to. I'm in Ann Arbor. This storm is well north of you. If you're living in Ann Arbor right now, you are clear, although there is a chance of a pop-up shower or storm later on this evening as we get into the evening hours, and that should diminish with time. Not expecting severe weather, generally speaking. Just one or two storms could become strong, perhaps severe. And this is what we're kind of seeing with these storms currently. Hey, Joel, do you have this for 5 or 10 minutes?
Yeah, I can get it.
Okay. Thank you.
I was just updating the thumbnail, so.
Okay, cool.
See if I can take my radar live here really quick.
Yeah, I'll stay until you
unless you're doing the thing again where you're controlling it in the background.
No, I got to go for like 5 or 10.
Okay. Sounds good.
There we go. All right. I'll be back if you're still on.
Okay. All right, bear with me here. I'm on one laptop and one laptop only, so I'm going to be switching between the screens. Hopefully everyone can see this. So this is the only severe thunderstorm warning in the state right now. It is for northwestern Lapeer County, heading south at a very slow clip. Current speed right now is measured and clocked in at 50 miles per hour to the south. Again, hazards for those who are just tuning in: 60 mile per wind gust, quarter-sized hail, and radar indicated. This is kind of a branch of the storm that produced the land spout earlier. Of course, that was the storm probably a little bit further north up here towards Kingston. Land spouts are still possible throughout the day, especially here on the east side of the state. Again, those are usually not damaging, but they do have wind gusts up to 60, maybe even 70 miles per hour at times. And so if you do see one nearby, you definitely want to get indoors and away from windows if one were to head your way. Again, tornado, land spout, two totally different things. In this severe thunderstorm warning, they do not have land spout possible, but you never know. It's a very strong storm right now, severe even for this hail and the damaging winds. And you can see this here with the pinks and even blacks right here in Columbiaville. So if you live in Columbiaville right now and are experiencing hail, this is your cell right here, and feel free to send in any reports that you see of some damaging winds or hail, or even land spouts if another one pops up. I'm getting, let me hover my mouse over the black specks here. 66 dBz, which is pretty intense rain. If it's not hail, it is rain. We'll switch to CC here really quick, and there you go. There's your what we like to call is non-uniform precipitation. So that's anywhere from the oranges to yellows and even greens on our CC product. And so that's usually hailstones. So Uniform would be just raindrops because they're obviously very circular in nature or oval in nature. And then you have hail, which is spiky, and that's usually indicated by values that are between the blues and the reds. And then, when we have like tornadoes happening or other things aloft like birds or dust particles, those are also very, very ununiform in nature. So those would be even the deeper blues, but we do not have those on here obviously today. So yeah, there's your hail core. It's pretty wide here across northwestern Lapeer County. Again, heading for downtown Lapeer at this time, and portions of I-69 are indeed in this warning box. So if you are traveling I-69 this evening, make sure to take note of the storm heading your way. Again, do not park underneath overpasses if the hail becomes intense or the rain becomes intense, as that is often more dangerous than continuing to drive. Let me go switch over to comments here really quick, see if I'm missing anything. Yeah, it's a popcorn storm-like day out there, classic summer day. It's sunny here in Mount Pleasant, but all around me you can see the popcorn clouds. Weather will change just like that. The saying in Michigan, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. That is a very, very good quote for the day today. If I loop it, actually, you can kind of see how just boom, right there in your face. Davison had a storm, and now it's just disappearing. Any other good examples out here? Kind of here in Shiawassee and Saginaw County as well, where you see these storms just boom up and boom down. But in the instance here, we have a right-moving storm, and it is becoming stronger here. Just going to check the wind velocities here, because, again, this is also warned for wind. Strongest winds right now are just due south of Columbiaville, picking up to 40, 45 knots at 1,700 feet above the ground. So that would be about 45 to 50 miles per hour. Again, if you do have ground confirmation of gusty winds or hail, you could always send that in to us via Messenger, or definitely send it to the National Weather Service in Detroit Pontiac first. That way they can update the warning as needed. Ground truth is very critical in storms, especially on days like today. It's a very tiny hook. Usually we look for these little hooks in indicative of like a supercell. We're not really expecting supercells today, but again, this is a severe thunderstorm. So nevertheless, take it semi-seriously. It's good to remember that severe thunderstorms are often more deadly than a tornado can be because they are more widespread. I had to gather my words there for a second. But yeah, if you live over north and east of Lansing, so Ionia County, Clinton County, even up towards Carson City, Berry County as well, Hastings area out there in the forest, and even Kalamazoo County, you have some pop-up showers right now. Ann Arbor to the southwest here in Manchester and Bridgewater, you have a cell moving ever so slowly off to your east, or moving towards you coming from the west. And then down here in northern Monroe County, you have a tiny little shower in Milan, and then just a couple more specks just scattered here and there about the radar. I believe there's also a couple showers moving offshore Harrisville, Alpena, but I will not switch to Gaylord right now because that takes about 30 seconds to load the radar. And wow, look at the pinks are just continuing to gather here in northwestern Lapeer County. They did just trim the severe thunderstorm warning a little bit, so it does not include areas to the north. So Columbiaville, you guys are still in it, but Otter Lake, close to Otter Lake and vicinity, you guys are no longer in that warning box. Again, this warning box is this little line right here. There's also special weather statement issued beneath it, but this kind of just overrules it at this point. We'll go dual here just to make sure. You can definitely see if you rock it back and forth here, you can see that right turn it's making when you compare it to the rest of the line. What is going on up here in Kingston? Okay, I just got a report from Ryan that there is golf ball sized hail falling in Columbiaville, or just was falling in Columbiaville. So this is dropping some large hail out there. Golf balls are, I believe, 1.5 inches in diameter. I'm going to double check this really quick. Yeah, golf ball size is actually 1.75 inches in diameter. So I would not be surprised if they actually upgrade this warning to considerable. That's the criteria for considerable severe thunderstorm warning. For those who don't know, I think it's 1.5 inch, maybe 1.75 inch hail, and or 70 mile per hour winds. So we're getting the hail. It's kind of like tornado warnings, how they have different levels. For those who watched from last week on May 7th, we had 4 different types of tornado warnings. We have the radar indicated rotation, observed tornado warning, particularly dangerous situation tornado warning, and then of course tornado emergency, which was the first ever issued in our state. Similar to that, we have normal severe thunderstorm warning, which is out here right now for Lapeer. And then we have considerable, which I just mentioned. And then you have destructive, which we saw on the August days last year when we had the Williamson tornado. We also had those damaging straight line winds come across. Those were 80 mile per hour winds, and that's your criteria for that. And I believe for the hail, it's 2.5 inch, maybe 2 inch hail for that as well. So confirmed golf ball sized hail falling in Columbiaville, heading south, may turn right at the last second for Lapeer, but I would say Lapeer, be ready for golf ball sized hail heading in your direction here. Feel free to park your cars inside, get a tarp over it, whatever you can do to protect your cars at this time. Again, you can send any hail reports to our messenger, our Facebook Messenger page, and for sure tag National Weather Service Detroit Pontiac or Grand Rapids if you live on the west side of the state in your reports. I would say that a PDS severe thunderstorm warning, I think that is the equivalent of a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. I think that's the wording for it. We don't have one out there right now, but I believe that is correct. PDS is the equivalent to severe thunderstorm warning destructive. Just gonna check the group chats here really quick, just make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Nothing else right now. Just getting a couple more pictures in right now from that land spot earlier up near Cass City. That again has since dissipated. Again, for those who are just tuning in, this is a severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern and western Lapeer County. These storms are heading south at 15 miles per hour. So if you do live in Lapeer, you have time to cover your vehicles, get it inside, whatever you can do to get your cars protected from potentially golf ball size hail falling here in your location. They actually updated the text to say it's moving south at 10 miles per hour, so it's slowed down even more. So I would even go out of my way to say that you could have ponding of low-lying areas today, especially given that these intense base reflectivity images that are coming in here on radar. I'm going to update our text here really quick. Okay, text is updated for those who may not have or are looking for answers to this severe thunderstorm warning. They'll scroll across the bottom of the screen. Again, for those who are just tuning in, feel free to leave a like, subscribe wherever you're watching from. We're simultaneously streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X for the severe thunderstorm warning. We also had, this is our second time we're actually live streaming today. We had one up in Alcona County, I believe, earlier today. Ryan and I were streaming for that. And they just trimmed the warning even more. 6:02 p.m. Thunderstorm was located southwest of Columbiaville, moving south at 10 miles per hour. Trained spotters reported half-dollar sized hail 5 miles southeast of Columbiaville. Yeah, I don't know. The pictures look like golf ball sized hail, but they may also be half-dollar. Half-dollar sized hail is still 1.25 inches in diameter, so you can get small dents on your vehicle. Nevertheless, but if you want to brave the elements with your vehicle, get some character built into it, be my guest. Whatever you can do. Yeah, a lot of places a day you might get 0 inches of rain. Other places you might get up to an inch, inch and a half, depending on how heavy and how long the showers train over the area. Because again, these storms are moving really, really slow with no upper level shear today at all levels of the atmosphere, honestly. Yeah, I'll loop the radar for you guys so you can see which way this is heading. Kind of notice that it's making a right turn, and it actually just merged with the storm here just south of Otisville. But Lapeer, you guys are going to be under the gun here. It's right down the road from you here in 5 minutes. I do not have radar Omega, so I can't really pick out some roads for you guys. But if you know where you live in retrospect on this map, you are helping yourselves for sure. And you kind of see close to the radar site here, you can see these little lines that are kind of meandering its way across eastern Michigan here. These are all boundaries. So these are either outflow boundaries from storms that existed prior or from the nearby lakes. So Lake St. Clair, Lake Huron. And when we have these boundaries interacting, it can either help or hurt a storm, similar to how we have merging storms where we saw all that on May 7th. So a lot of moving parts in today's atmosphere. Again, with the temperatures near 80 degrees a day and dew points near 60. A lot of moisture, a lot of instability out there to help aid in these scattered storms, some strong and severe in nature. And also, as a PSA, it's a good reminder that we don't need a marginal risk to have severe weather here in the state of Michigan, as the lakes have kind of their own environment. But some of you guys have lived here long enough where that is well known. Looks like Ryan's back in here.
Yeah, I'll probably be off and on here, but I'll be back here.
Sweet.
I'm sure you've already said this before, but if you are in Lapeer, you got to be indoors right now. This is golf ball size hail that's being reported in to our messenger box via Columbiaville, and that's heading right into Lapeer proper. So if you guys live in Lapeer or anywhere around Lapeer, this storm will be impacting you next 5-10 minutes.
Ryan, do we have a picture of hail measured on tape measure or no?
It's compared to a quarter.
Okay, because that does look like half-dollar size, which would be a little bit smaller than golf ball.
Okay, yeah. It's hard to tell there, but
this hail is located just south of Columbiaville, for those who are asking. Tina asks, why do we not have a marginal risk?
I mean, simple answer for that is the coverage of storms today was not expected to be widespread, or should I say scattered, but also the environment today would not typically support severe weather. We don't have much in the way of wind shear. We only have instability, and instability can cause hail sometimes, which we're seeing today. But overall ingredients just didn't look, too favorable today. We only had 2 warnings in the entire state. Population of 12 million. That's not, wouldn't really risk or warrant a marginal risk, so to speak. Did that make sense?
Yeah. Imagine living 25, 30 years ago and we only had, it was thunderstorm, slight, moderate, and I believe high was a late addition, but I believe it was the main 3 were thunderstorm, slight, and moderate back in the day. And for thunderstorm category, they would often put the words "see text," so they would describe it in the subtext, and you wouldn't even see it on the map what's going on.
Right. I do want to take this back real quick, Joel. Oh, cool.
I got
This
you.
is the Hail product. We call it vertically integrated liquid. It measures the water droplet or anything larger in the atmosphere. When we see these colors, get into the orange, reds, purples, and especially whites here, the white is basically maxed out within this hail core here. So that's, signifying that the hail within the storm is quite large. Okay. The warning did get upgraded to $half size hail. So NWS Detroit is on top of this. But if you are living in anywhere in this warning box, really, especially Lapeer, because that's the major population center here. This is heading. I mean, it looks like it might skip here to the west, actually, but still, anywhere between Elba to Attica, Lapeer, you guys need to be inside. Okay, not thinking tornadoes with this, nothing like that. But this is going to likely cause some damage, if not to vehicles, to your siding, to roofing. Anything that can be damaged by hail will likely be damaged. Also getting some decent downburst signature here on velocity here. So we'll watch that too. But looking like we're going to get some gusty winds with this as well. Perhaps hail-driven wind or wind-driven hail, should I say?
Yeah.
So that's also something we're going to watch here with this. I think Joel had us up a little bit ago, but the CC here was showing, or still is showing, some pretty good size hail. So Lapeer, you have approximately, I'm going to say 5 minutes to impact.
Yeah. In the text, it said expect to appear at 6:10, but it has slowed down just a tad.
So if we take this and we track this moving at 15.
It's moving 10 now.
Lapeer, we're going to say about, we're going to call it 5-10 minutes or so. It says 13, but it'll be on top of you, I think, before 13 minutes is up. So we're going to call it 5 to 10. If you want to take your radar back, you can, Joel. I just wanted to put that VIL on.
So you're right down the road, but you guys are in the clear. Nothing going on in Genesee County at this time. Kind of just surrounded. Have a light shower on the... Wow, what is happening right now on my radar? Light to moderate shower here over Davison. That's about it in terms of Genesee County right now. It almost looks like it's trying to back build off this little outflow boundary here that's kind of bowing down straight south. So if it's gusty where you are here in Flint right now in Grand Blanc, that's your reason why. If you see clouds back building, they're back building off this outflow boundary, which is really kind of cool. Shower now developing further downstream here in Owasso, Shiawassee County. And nearby Chris Tobias here just south of Perry. Otherwise, showers are maintaining strength here. The four corners here near Carson City, Ionia, Montcalm, Gratiot, Clinton, those four corners right there. Plus, Berry County has a lot of showers and storms moving across the county right now, as well as northeast Kalamazoo County. And it looks like our storms are kind of upticking a little bit in Washtenaw and northern Monroe, although who knows here in 3 scans.
I got a view of that Monroe cell. Looks like there's going to be one up in here in northern Lenawee, possibly. I got a good updraft here to my north. I also want to just mention with this Lapeer County storm, there is a ton of lightning. So this is a one loud storm. So you're going to have plenty of warnings. You should have plenty of warning. With this storm incoming. So Lapeer, you're probably getting the first couple raindrops right now, this storm. It'll intensify pretty quickly here. And the hail product here, it's the hail tracker, is still showing a really, really menacing look on it. So radar indicates right now roughly 1.3 inch in diameter. Now this is just an estimate. We really don't, take this as 100%, truth. But when the radar's indicating hail up and over an inch, then it kind of gets your attention more so than it says, half inch or 3/4 inch. So, especially with a signature like what we're seeing with the storm. Would this storm come through Imlay City? So Imlay City off there to the east, you likely will be impacted by a storm here next probably half hour to an hour. Although it could weaken by the time it gets to you, although the bulk of this severe is going to stay to your west, at least it should. So not concerned yet for you guys, but you do have a shot there at getting a part of the storm.
Someone asked about the forcing mechanism for today. It is your instability combined with a lower level trough, a couple lower level troughs existing in the 925 millibar height level. At least that's what I'm seeing on our mesoscale analysis. So you have that going for, you have instability, you have the lower level troughs, and you have the lapse rates, which are 8.5 degrees Celsius per kilometer right now, which is helpful for hail development.
I see somebody asking here about Attica. Attica is a little bit further west than Imlay City, so more so concerned for Attica than I am for Imlay City. But still, Attica is on the eastern part of the storm. So unless it turns more eastern, you should be fine right now out of the hail, or the most concerned. But you still are going to get some rain, probably some good heavy downpours with this at the very least.
That's quite the downdraft here.
Yeah, I saw that. Likely going to get an extension here, potentially into southern Lapeer.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be shocked. So places like downstream, like Hadley, Hunters Creek, Farmers Creek. We were just calling these names out during the Grand Blanc tornado, weren't we? I remember a lot of these names downstream from the Grand Blanc tornado. So luckily, we're not talking tornadoes today, but we're talking large hail and some damaging winds here. So,
Ryan, did you see this earlier near Kingston?
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if there was a land spout there.
Or a land spout there in Kingston. Look at that. It kind of just...
Whoop.
Yeah. So if anyone lives in the Kingston area and saw a land spout in the last 15 minutes, feel free to send it our way, or send it to, or send it to National Weather Service Detroit Pontiac.
Got a spotter report coming in now to southeast of Columbiaville. I'm not sure if that was the one that we were in contact with them with or not, but they're saying that's a train spotter reporting $0.5 sized hail. That's 1.25 inches. Yeah, I'm assuming that is. So regardless, though, we do have confirmation that there is hail falling, or was falling, probably still is, with this storm, and it's knocking on Lapeer's doorstep. And there's Joel, has his hail product out. Looks like it's, I don't know, it looks like it's kind of weakening back out just a bit, but still a strong signal there.
Yeah. It's kind of making that right turn. Following behind the outflow boundary a little bit.
What scan is that last scan you have there?
17, so a minute ago.
Okay, I'm still 5 minutes old. That's why. Okay, cool.
BR is at 12 or 22:16, so that was 2 minutes old.
Okay. It's wild in Lapeer southeast. What do you mean by wild, Shelby? Is it raining, thundering, windy? What are you getting down there?
Southeast side of Lapeer, the city, or southeast side of the county? Because southeast side of the county is like Elmont area, and there's nothing falling there yet, but I'm sure you guys have a good view of it.
Radar indicated 45 mile per hour winds currently in Lapeer. Wouldn't be shocked if those are stronger on the surface. Are land spouts caused by the same mechanism as tornadoes? Great question, Josh. So there's actually a difference. Land spouts typically form underneath surface boundaries, such as like cold fronts, outflow boundaries. Sometimes we get them under just cumulus clouds. Tornadoes, the difference between land spouts and tornadoes are actual tornadoes have rotating updrafts, usually with supercells, whereas land spouts don't have that rotating updraft. So while they're both considered tornadoes when they do touch down, one is significantly weaker, that being the land spout, and tornadoes can be of significance. They can be really strong. So the main difference is one has rotating updraft, one does not. I wonder if we can pull up that parameter space real quick to show these guys what happened earlier. I'm not sure if it's still up or not. Oh yeah, cool. So I'm gonna bring this in real quick, Joel, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
All right, so we have a parameter here. Here we go. We have a parameter here we call non-supercell tornadic parameters, so like land spouts, cold air funnels, that kind of stuff. We see a bullseye up there in the thumb region, and that's where we had that land spout earlier. We see it very well here on our real-time data. We call it mesoanalysis, showing that bullseye right up there in the thumb region. So not a surprise we actually had a land spout up there. And this being, only 20 minutes old, there continues to be a risk up there in the thumb for potential land spouts and or maybe a cold air funnel being possible. So with that being said, these storms that are currently tracking with Lapeer area, they're just outside the better environment there. So we're not too concerned at that point with land spouts with these storms that we're tracking, but it does remain a possibility for any storm that can reform like these ones up here by Cass City would be a good example. So we'll watch those. We'll watch some reports coming in. And land spouts are typically much weaker. If they do touch down, they're more so 50, 60 mile per hour winds. So not too much of an issue, but still cool to see. And they can cause, weaker type of damage to, say, outbuildings or, your trash can or something like that. So looking at the hail tracker here, still getting a hail core out here to the west now, Joel. I don't know if you saw that. Over the city of Davison, the last place you want to see that after last year. So Davison, wouldn't be shocked if you are getting some decent size hail with that storm that just popped up to the west. But other than that, we are seeing hail moving in toward Lapeer. It has weakened from what it was showing earlier here. It has kind of toned its color down, so that tells us that it may not be as strong, but still likely some good hail falling in there. But now Davison has a better signature on the hail tracker here. So looking at the actual radar over there, this storm has kind of popped up out of nowhere. We see basically nothing. Within a few scans, boom, there's a big old storm there. So if you live in Davison, unfortunately, again, looking like that we're going to be seeing potential for large hail. No warning over there in Davison. Radar indicating currently just under an inch on the hail size. So if anybody lives in the Davison area, I'm sure we have some followers here. We have a big influx of followers from that hail day back last year. So maybe any of you guys watching from the Davison area has reports of hail, let us know here in the comments or message the page. Just let us know what you're seeing over there.
Yeah, and like I mentioned 5-10 minutes ago, with that outflow boundary back building, you can kind of see how it fuels the storms a little bit more as it extends more to the west. And it pulls the energy from points east to points west. So kind of neat to loop it here on radar and look at that. But the thunderstorm warning still is in effect here for western Lapeer County, city of Lapeer. Waiting on a potential extension points south and maybe points west for southeastern Genesee County. Make sure I had the right one there.
Be Oakland, I believe. Or no, yeah, you're right, Genesee. You're right.
Yeah. Ashley in our comments is saying pea-sized hail in Davison.
Okay,
Lexi is also reporting hail in Davison, so that is almost want to say spotter confirmed. Public confirmed.
Looks like there is still some gusty winds there on the west side of Lapeer, moving down toward Metamora. So some gusty winds, definitely a possibility with that storm as it moves more so southeastward.
Yeah, right over 69.
Yeah, not good. Cold water is fine for now. Again, pop-ups are possible across the state this evening. But cold water, you got nothing to worry about right now. Just some scattered storms right now near eastern Kalamazoo. Up here in Berry County, none of these look impressive, honestly. Near Ithaca, there's some there up toward northern Michigan. A good example of a lake breeze boundary we watch for right here. We see that easily detectable boundary here there that's pushing inland. So that could spark something up there, although I doubt it. Instability up there is not as high as it is further south. And then over here on the east side, again, we had that severe warning here. We have some other storms that are outside the severe near Burnside, Davison up there again toward, we'll call it Cass City. Not really seeing, okay, Argyle here, just north of Deckerville. There's some showers there. Then further south here, we had that one in Monroe County here. And hey, there's that one I'm looking at my window. Just saw a few minutes ago and just popped up on radar in southern Washtenaw. Man, it's been there. Okay, never mind. It's been there. I thought it just popped up. But I got updrafts out my window. So, in fact, can I show you guys this? Hold on. See if I can show you guys this. There we go.
I'm going to, while you're showing that to everybody,
nice updraft.
I will say, if you guys want to report the hail size directly, you can go ahead and actually download MPing. Forgot that was a resource. I know we usually promote it during the winter time, but it's also for severe weather as well. So if you see like hail falling, go ahead and open your MPing app. So it's lowercase m and then in all caps ping. And you can download it on your app store. I think it's on both Samsung and Apple. And then just go in and report the hail size that you're seeing. Remember to report diameter from the biggest points across. If you can, if it's pea-sized hail, you can kind of just eyeball it. But if it's anything bigger than that, you definitely want to pull out your tape measure and figure it out that way. And again, of course, if you have pictures, feel free to send them to us and send them to your local National Weather Service office.
You want to say radar is indicating, again, an increase of hail size just to the south of Davison now. Again, no warning on that storm at this point, but looks like the more impressive hail core would be east of the one over Lapeer. So just kind of monitoring that there closely. Here's your hail core again via GR2. We see a good size hail core, and that kind of weakens out toward Lapeer, and then one blows up over Davison now. So we'll see what NWS does with this storm. This warning expires for Lapeer County in 18 minutes, so 6:45. No, these are not expected to be tornadic. They're currently not tornadic, so no worry about that today. We did have a land spout that did touch down up in the Thumb region, so not surprised given the parameters today, but those are not really considered tornadic, so to speak. Echo tops. Yeah, we can do the echo tops here. Whoops, what just happened? Okay. Let's see if we can get echo tops on here. Doesn't have it, really? Thought I would have like a bar graph there showing how high this is, but okay, we'll do it on GR2 then. So echo tops, or the cloud tops on these storms, are roughly right around 35 to 40,000 feet. And man, that VIL product for just south of Davison there, holy cow.
Yeah.
Would not be shocked if they issue a warning here, as Joel mentioned, for southeastern Genesee County. Again, no warning yet, but it's definitely looking like it could use one here.
Yeah, I just tweeted on Twitter, or X, I should say, and Detroit just liked the post, so they do see from us, I guess that you could say, thank you for everyone that reported pea-sized hail. Detroit is now aware of the pea-sized hail falling in Davison.
Wow. That's, again, a good signal there. Looks like they put an SWS out.
Yep.
Winds in excess of 40 and half-inch hail. Again, still wouldn't be shocked if they upgrade this, just because the VIL is, which is VIL, when I say VIL, is a hail product, basically. And the brighter the color here, the more likely it is we're going to have hail and perhaps large hail falling. So when we see the whites here, that really indicates that this is likely going to be some pretty large hail falling just to the south of Davison. right over I-69, riding what is it, Highway 15? I'm going to say, or US 1 or US 15 through Davison. Route 115 or Route 15. I'm not sure what what the official name of this is. Looks like State Road is what it's called. M15. Thank you. Thank you. So yes, the warning has now been dropped for Lapeer. However, I think we're going to stay on here. At least I'm going to stay on here just a minute longer here to see what this does.
I definitely would.
Yeah, because this, from a radar operator's perspective of things, this is looking like it's potentially producing severe hail. So would not be shocked if we get a new warning here for southeastern Genesee and perhaps again southwestern Lapeer, depending on how this plays out. Sprinkling in Inlay City. Yeah, luckily over there, not too much to be worried about. Just some, rain, perhaps some thunder. Yeah, definitely got some thunder moving in for you. But the bulk of the concern now lies over toward Davison. Still hailing, very windy, lightning, and Lapeer. Yep, so Lapeer is in the heart of that storm. Luckily, it's weakened since we've started tracking it. So likely not producing severe weather at this time in Lapeer. If you guys do happen to have severe wind gusts or large hail over a quarter, please let us know, and also let your local NWS offices know, which would be NWS Detroit in this area. See how that kind of blew up there near Davison, like 2 scans. It's like nothing to ginormous hail core.
Yeah. I still don't have the SWS box on my radar yet.
Yeah, mine on either on GR2.
Yeah, GR2 is a little slow. Do we have it posted on Facebook?
The SWS, no, we don't.
Okay. Do you want to get that? Or you want me to?
Yeah, I'll get that.
Okay.
We try to get every all the warnings, like severe tornadic warnings, get issued automatically to our page, but special weather statements like this one right here do not. So we have to hand post those. So if we miss one, apologies. But we are incredibly busy on severe days like this. Or not really like this, but when there's severe weather, our focus is on radar and communicating that to you guys.
Yeah. Amanda said, did you see what Amanda said? At M15 in State Street in Davison, quarter-sized hail.
Okay.
Also another report here in the comments of dime-sized hail in Davison.
Okay.
Again, these storms are heading south about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So very slow. Heading towards southwestern portions of Lapeer County, some Metamora. You have time to prepare. I see Ryan's moving his radar in the background now.
Yeah, tracking the hail core. This is not radar. This is just showing where the hail may be. Over Davison, moving basically between Atlas and Hadley. It's probably going to split these two cities. So anywhere between Atlas and Hadley. So Goodrich, Hadley, Atlas. We're going to go ahead and call Farmers Creek out here just because we could have some hail over here. Any other townships here? I don't really see much anything. So M1 or M15 there, right along M15, basically tracking across the county line of Genesee and Lapeer counties. Again, animating this, moving pretty much southeast in a direct line here. So again, Atlas and Hadley, the two bigger cities or townships that are in the path of this. Goodrich as well. And looking in between, I don't see anything else popping up township-wise or city-wise.
Looks like it's the only special weather statement out there right now. I will point out that if you are in Gratiot County, I believe, yes, Gratiot County, Carson City, Perrington, storm kind of just bubbled up here, especially directly over Perrington. believe that's M57. I should know this by now. I travel it sometimes.
Yeah, Davison is in the clear now. Probably just some remnant sprinkles and perhaps lightning. Again, lightning can linger behind storms, so you're not technically in the clear yet, but the bulk of the hail and rain is off to your south now.
So Middleton, Perryton, and Pompeii. Pompeii's a little tiny town right here along US 127. Is my radar live? Probably not.
I just took it back.
Okay, cool. So this little storm right here just kind of bubbled up. Middleton, Perryton, next door neighbors here along M57, and then Pompeii, you guys, the storm is heading right towards you guys right now. No special alert statement on it at the moment. Looks like a tiny bit of a hail core starting to develop there. From Detroit radar, this looks like it has a TBSS, third by scatter spike, which would be indicative of some stronger, or I should say larger sized hail potentially starting to develop in the updrafts of this storm as it heads down to the east towards eventually Ashley. Looking back at our Davison storm, CC kind of picks up on a little bit of, actually right over the 69 interchange there where M15 crosses, you kind of see a little bit of a explosion of CC, which, you know, would be, if it was like a tornado, it would be like, boom, there it is. But that is all hail that you're seeing there, the yellows and the blues, mainly the yellows and the greens. I believe the core is kind of south of 69 at this point, heading down M15 towards Goodrich.
There we go. Look at the hail core, still showing a strong signature here. Basically, where Joel was saying there with the 15 and 69 corridor interchange. So that's still picking up some really good size hail. What's up, Drew?
Sanilac County, Sandusky area, down to towards Crossville. Looks like all these storms up here are just fading away. So it looks like Lapeer County is the only county that's really on this side of the state in the thick of it right now, besides portions of eastern Genesee. Eventually here, crawling into northern Oakland County at a snail's pace within the next half hour.
And that's the nature of these summertime, we call them pulse storms. They like to go up fast, they like to go down fast. So
absolutely,
none of these storms are expected to be long-lived or track, multiple counties. They should remain pretty much in one county where they're at. They're moving pretty slow today. We have very weak shear, so nothing to really get the storms organized or sustained and get them moving. So we'll have these types of days throughout summer where we have one or two of these storms like to go severe. We'll say we don't expect it, but there's always that outside chance on days like today where we may see one or two storms, produce something like this. So just the nature of how summertime storms go. That is still there, although this is 5 minutes old. Still shows a good hail core there. All right, Sarah, you're out of there. We don't like spam in here. We have a lot of spam bots that like to spam our page. Don't click on links unless it's from our page. Have a lot of filters on, so hopefully none of you guys get to see these spam bots, but sometimes they slip through. Yeah, I wouldn't say they're racing, Doug. They're moving pretty, I think Joel said a few minutes ago, a snail's pace.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. About 10, 20 miles an hour today, so not too fast.
Turtle's pace. If a turtle can go 10 miles per hour, that's like a light jog, though.
Alligator's pace. How about that?
Yeah.
We had hail in Davison about 15 minutes ago. How large, Dwayne? Do we know how large that was? I got the new scan off of GR2 for the VIL. It looks like it increased even further, if that's even possible.
For which one?
The Davison cell. South of Davison. I got radar indicated 1.64.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right over M15.
Love to see it. Just kidding. Don't want to see this.
If it takes any more of a right turn or back builds any further, you could see it in outskirts of Grand Blanc here. A lot of colliding boundaries here, right south of Grand Blanc right now, as you can see on radar. These all these little squiggly worm-like lines right over Lake Fenton, Fenton, Holly. Coming
I'll
up
be right back, Joel.
975 here. Although this might be beam bending, so this could actually be picking. Well, no, that's outflow, I think. Sometimes what's really cool is that the radar actually picks up on. Well, I guess it's not cool because it doesn't help radar data, but it actually picks up on vehicles on the highway, which is really interesting. But I don't believe that's what it's picked. I feel like this is also a boundary here. Tough to tell. I mean, at the least, you can see this one kind of parallel to US 23 here, and then this one that's just south of I-69 here in Grand Blanc. So these two are colliding right here, kind of where that tornado started in Grand Blanc earlier this year. So we'll have to see if these storms back build a little bit more in the next 15 minutes. We lost Ryan. I think he's busy at the moment. I just noticed my face is really big in the screen. Yeah, with very weak upper level shear going on, these storms kind of have little minds of their own. So they can really kind of head in any direction. And then those boundaries, as I mentioned, kind of pull them in certain directions every once in a while, which is kind of what you're seeing here in the Davidson storm, where it back built it into you guys.
GR2 now saying on the hail size. You're probably going to see the exact same I am. I don't know if you have that turned on, Joel. Take a peek at that hail size, it says. 2.33.
That's if anyone's living along M15 between Davidson and Goodrich right now, I would say park your vehicles inside or cover them up if you can. That's 70 dBz, which is usually severe hail.
Yeah. I do want to notice something.
Oh, wow. Like a CC.
Yeah. I do want to take my radar here real quick, Joel. Just an interesting, non-concerning feature. Oh, severe warning now. All right, so this is going to be for, looks like, southwestern Lapeer, southeastern Genesee, and also northern Oakland counties. This is going to be for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds in effect until 7:45 p.m. So this storm, we've been tracking it. We stayed live for this reason. We thought we might go severe, and it just did. So at Hadley, Atlas, Ortonville, Oxford Charter Township, Perry Lake Heights, Brandon Gardens, Austin Corners, Kerr Hill. It looks about it there, or Goodrich there. I don't know if I said that already, but pretty rural areas until we get into northern Oakland, which is good news. But still, radar is indicating this could be upwards of maybe types of golf ball potentially sized hail in there, maybe. Although this warning does include quarter size hail. The signatures we're getting on radar do say it could be a little bit larger than that. Now, Joel, if you want to go back to your CC, or I don't know, it took you back there.
Give me a second. I'm updating the Facebook post with the warning.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get this title of the stream changed here momentarily. All right. All right. So the bulk of the hail is going to be, this is about 7 minutes old, unfortunately. This one's going to be a little bit newer. I'm going to take the other radar I have pulled up here. So similar look, different radar product. This is your hail tracker here, moving in toward the Goodrich area. This is going to be indicating hail that is quite large, moving out of Davison south into basically right toward Goodrich. So luckily, Goodrich isn't too large of a population, but still, people live there, so it's concerning. So the problem with VIL product, the hail tracker, is it doesn't really update, every 2 to 4 minutes like we do radar and velocity. So we have to kind of wait a few more scans to get a new scan of the hail tracker in. Regardless, we are getting some indication here that here's some hail falling just because we have a little bit of a spike in velocity there. That would indicate the hail is falling there as well. Likely going to be like a downburst or a microburst going on in there potentially. We see increases of our winds. Luckily, though, these storms are not expected to rotate. There's no rotation with these storms. It's just a hail producing storm at this point.
I don't really like to have the fake triangles on because like I said before in previous streams, it's like AI generated. It's not actually what's falling there. It's just kind of it shows you what's happening in the atmosphere and it kind of just gathers all that information and throws a triangle on there, but it's not actually what's falling. Again, this is why ground reports are very useful. So if you are safely able to do so, feel free to grab some pictures. Otherwise, be inside, away from windows, especially if this is wind-driven hail at this hour.
Yeah, that velocity kind of caught my eye there too. Just to the east of Goodrich, by about a mile or two.
Kind of loop it here.
Did you mean to switch the layout?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just kind of full screen the radar a little bit.
Okay. All right, so it looks like the bulk of the hail is going to be near the area of Goodrich currently, moving in toward that area at least, up toward the M15 area, over to the county line of Lapeer/Genesee, over toward Hadley, Farmers Creek, and then north up to I-69. That's where the bulk of this is currently falling. That is correct, Drew. We actually have that running today. So occasionally you're going to see a sweep of the radar come through. It can give us a couple minutes ahead of what a usual scan would come in sometimes. So we call it a rapid scan. You'll see a sweep come through, at least my radar. I'm not sure if GR2 has that feature or not, but I know they just added this one on Radar Omega. So sometimes we'll see a sweep of the radar come through. It just gives us a little bit more of a heads up, like an advanced type of thing. Likely a lot of wind in there. This would be one I'm more so concerned for some wind gusts on this one, just by judging on the reflectivity or the velocity signature we're getting with this. And the hail core is still not updating. This is 7 minutes old. Still showing it about to enter between Atlas and Hadley here next couple of minutes, if not already on top of that area. So the bulk of the hail is going to be right about. Let's redraw that. Right about here will be the bulk of your hail. There could be some smaller hail out in this area, but the bulk of the hail core concerning is going to be right in the center of this left circle. This is moving toward the southeast, toward Hadley, Atlas, Ortonville, as well as Oxford Charter Township. It's moving pretty slow, so you got some time out ahead for this to weaken. Hopefully, fingers are crossed. No tornado chances right now. I'm not expecting that at all tonight. So, for those of you worried about tornadoes and stuff like that, the chances, if there is anything, I'm trying to think of how to say this. as close to zero as you can get without it being zero is about all I can say. Never want to rule one out with these severe storms, but again, we have very little wind shear today, very little ingredient stuff like that, so we're not watching for it. We're not concerned for it. I do want to show you guys this feature I was looking at a little bit ago. Check out the lightning that happened out ahead of this storm as it approached. We have lightning strikes that can happen out ahead of this line, and then we still see that being the case here with this storm moving to the south. There's no rain falling right now in Ortonville, but you guys have a lightning barrage occurring. So just because it's currently not raining does not mean your threat is still zero there, because out ahead of these storms, we're getting lightning off the forward flank of this, and that can still be deadly and cause some issues like strikes houses, stuff like that. So just because it's not raining, you're watching the storm off to your north coming at you, it's still dangerous. Get inside. The storm is approaching. Lightning is striking out ahead of the precipitation. So we actually have a random strike down here in Brandon Gardens area. They are way ahead of this. That's crazy. About 10 miles, 6 to 10 miles out ahead of this storm.
Bolt from the blue.
Yep. And that can be very dangerous and catch a lot of people off guard. So do head indoors if you live underneath this warning here. We have lightning bolts stretching basically all the way to the very end of this warning box polygon toward the Springfield Township area, just near Brandon Gardens there. So get indoors for sure. Away from windows. This is warned for quarter-size hail as well as 60 mile per hour winds. So something you want to take serious with this.
Hey, look at that. Remember how I said about 5 minutes ago the outflow boundary was still moving back to the west, and how Grand Blanc would probably get something? No, you got a shower popping up over you guys now in Grand Blanc.
There you go.
This is the right mover that the HRRR run had yesterday evening, I believe. I believe Cody will be hopping on here soon. He's going to be on the storm. His location right now is in Auburn Hills.
Okay, so he's getting up there then.
Yeah.
Cloud tops are roughly 40,000 feet right now.
Dang.
Hail is still up over 2 inches according to GR2.
Yeah, look at this.
Yep.
Anything... These yellows are above 30K, so... Of course, when you get really close to the radar, the radar's actually undershooting the cloud tops because of the... obviously, you're limited at the lower elevations, but the beam also only goes up so far in the upper elevations. So, for example, 19.5 degrees is the highest level scan, as you can see here. And 0.5 degrees is the lowest. So, as the storm gets closer and closer to the radar, we can actually not see the cloud tops and how far or how tall they're getting, unless we, use a different radar from like Grand Rapids or even Cleveland. But severe definitely still on the table for this storm if the cloud tops are exceeding 35,000 feet. Emily's saying pea-sized hail falling Grand Blanc, mostly rain. Josh asked if they're positive bolts or negative bolts. Usually when they pop up on the radar, I think they're positive.
Generally speaking as well, correct me if I'm wrong, but usually on the end of the anvil, they typically can be positive more of the time than they are negative.
Yeah.
Starting in Metamora. Okay, where's Metamora at? Are you guys outside this morning? I think you're outside the warning, actually. Yeah, you're just outside that warning, but still, looking at you're pretty close to that. So, but yeah, it's just starting to rain there for you. There is some indication that hail is falling over toward the Metamora area. I'll say moving into Metamora area. Doesn't look, too terribly strong. But we
Somebody,
are what?
somebody in chat said land spout on velocity. I'm not seeing that.
Likely what you're seeing is a downburst. When those reds and greens are in the hail core there, typically means there's a big downburst going on or a good burst of hail happening. Does not, mean land spout or tornado per se. But there has been some greens and reds that are trying to intermix with each other here. That would indicate more so some downburst winds there, potentially hail.
Drew posted a really cool loop of the satellite in our behind the scenes group chat. I don't know if you wanted to like show satellite of how it's looking right now, just to show you how powerful the storm is, Ryan. I don't know if you have a way to pull that up on Omega.
I do. I'm not sure if it's that good or not.
Okay.
I gotta go up here actually. I haven't really used this. Yeah, this is not going to cut it. Maybe it will. Hold on.
I think that's just what region it's for.
Yeah, I'm going to see if anything pops in here. See if it's a mesoscale for us.
No, probably not.
Oh, well, that's not what we need per se.
Just outside the sector.
But number 2. There we go. Well, kind of. All right, do me a favor. Take your radar back. I'll pull it up on COD.
Okay. Oops.
I clicked it. My bad.
Cody says he'll be on the storm soon. He's heading right towards it here. Sometimes, for those who are asking comments, you can sometimes see a land spout on velocity if it's a stronger land spout, but because the velocities are usually very weak for a land spout, they're hard to kind of pick up in the first place. This is heading right for Clarkston. Clarkston, you're not in the warning, but you're on the edge of the warning.
Tiffany, is that confirmed? Do you have a confirmation of that or a picture you could send us?
What happened? Ping pong ball sized hail accumulating where? Lapeer, you guys kind of have a second little shower popping up behind you, less severe than the first. There you go. Wow.
Yep. So there's your storms that are ongoing across the state, and those are some gnarly looking cloud tops, some anvils there, we call them.
You can also see fog on Lake Michigan there. That's kind of cool.
Yep. Over here where I'm circling. That's really cool, actually.
Yeah, there's a marine dense fog advisory in effect right now, actually, for Lake Michigan. So
and go ahead. Sorry. I thought you were done.
No. Just kind of rambling. Go ahead.
Also, if you look closely here, you can see the lake breeze over here in Lake Michigan, like a backward C shape, like a bow. It moves inland. That is your lake breeze. If you can get stuff firing off that, which you actually do today, those are typical in summertime fashion. So we'll see that often this summer. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. So the bulk of the hail is over the area of Atlas as of 4 minutes ago. And looks like some is extending to the west of that warning towards the Grand Blanc area, but not quite into Grand Blanc proper. So 2 distinct areas here. I guess we can say 3, but more so just one distinct area. There's one over here to the east of Hadley, then one just to the south of Lapeer. More concerning one's going to be over here over Atlas right now. So if you live in the area of Atlas and Goodrich, you likely are getting some pretty large hail with this. Just a mean-looking storm.
Just continues to back build to the west.
Yep. And if you notice carefully here, we have a couple boundaries. We have one looks like right about here, which is going to build off of. There's also one looks like right about here as well, making like a little bit of a T there. So, excuse me. We'll likely see additional back building across this entire area over the next couple of scans next 10, 15 minutes potentially.
You can see Cody's dot there in northeastern. Yep.
There he is.
He almost has to shoot to the west a little bit because that storm just keeps back building.
Yep.
I'll put a note in the chat.
He's got some good east options, or west options, looks like. Just tuning in, can we recap? So right now, just one severe thunderstorm warning. We're not expecting widespread severe weather this evening across the state. It's just going to be occasional pop-ups that can become strong. We're not really expecting too much more tonight. This one's been hanging out for a while in Lapeer County. It's currently warned for severe wind and hail up to a quarter size in diameter. Good size hail core showing up on radar near Atlas, just to the east of Grand Blanc. Taking a wider shot, there are additional pop-up showers and storms across the southern and central part of the state, most notably one near Ithaca. That shower is taken off here. Could see some decent-sized hail with that. Not looking too impressive just yet on the VIL product, which is a hail tracker. We'll watch it, though. A couple other pop-ups here from Owasso down here towards 69, north of Fowlerville, Durand area, Maurice. There's one back here toward Lansing. These are not expected to be that strong or severe, but just general pop-ups. We call them popcorn showers, so to speak. And that's about it. As the sun goes down, these should lose their fuel. So we should see a decrease of intensity as we get towards and past sunset. Ithaca storm, we'll be watching that one a little bit closer. It looks like it's trying to take off a little bit, more so speaking. It's not just going to be a regular, pop-up and be done. It's hanging out for a while. Oh, wow. That one just went from nothing to everything. Check that out.
Yeah.
So.
Big time hail near Atlas. You guys, Grand Blanc as well. If you want to be specific in size, it'd be great. Madison says marble-sized hail. Thank you very much. Again, if you have the app called MPing, you can submit a little a marker that the National Weather Service would see, and they will use that in their process of issuing further warnings and updated warnings.
I will be right back.
Okay. I don't even know if I have MPings. There we go. I can turn that on. We don't. Yeah, if you're just joining us, feel free to hit the like button, or if you're heading on your way out this evening, like goes a long ways. It's the best way to support us for free. No hail near Henderson and Goodrich. Thank you for the report there, Paige. Appreciate that. It'll probably feel nice for you guys that I'll have these storms blow over. Obviously, hopefully no damage. But as Tammy is pointing out, it will cool down once these storms go by. Temperatures will probably drop off, especially if you're in the areas where it's 80 degrees right now. It'll probably drop down to the mid-60s. So you could see a 10 to 15 degree swing in the matter of 15 to 20 minutes. So they have trimmed this morning just a little bit. Ortonville, Oxford, you guys are still in this warning. Cody is on his way into Oxford right now. Storm is back building to the west a little bit into Grand Blanc. Goodrich, Atlas as well. But Holly and Ortonville, you guys are probably under the gun here soon. And if this continues to back build to the west, Lake Fenton and Fenton as well. So we're looking at northern Oakland County here and continued southern Genesee County just to the south of Flint. We have a couple showers starting to pop off of this outflow boundary to the north now, heading up towards Schwartz Creek and Flushing. Nothing severe at this point or worthy of a special weather statement. I'm sorry. Both of those have special in it. I'm so used to saying special marine warning because we have the lakes around. So you got to give me a great saving grace there. Flip it to CC here just to check on our hail. Oops, I totally contradicted myself here. Let me pause it. And it looks like, yeah, right in the Atlas Goodrich area is where your hail core is currently located at this moment. Lapeer County, you guys are pretty much dealing with a smaller end hail at this point. pea-sized tail, probably heading into Metamora down the road here in about 10 minutes, if not already. And given this is a somewhat normal of a summer day, these storms are kind of just fueled by the instability that has developed today. With the sun going down, our instability goes away, and thus our storms will also dissipate, potentially leading to some cool cloud formations earlier. You'll see poofy cloud tops probably up at 20,000 feet, but underneath it you'll have a bunch of virga, which is like rain that's kind of evaporating beneath the cloud, but it might not even be touching the ground. So look out for those clouds around sunset tonight. I remember seeing some last summer on days like today, and they're really cool to see. So get your camera ready near sunset. No tornado chance with this one at the moment. Chance for a tornado today is like 0.01%. We did have that land spout earlier up near Cass City, but again, a land spout and a tornado are two different things. Land spout is very weak, and tornado is more associated with a mesocyclone or severe thunderstorm. So currently the hazard with this storm is hail, especially here near Goodrich. Watching other showers and storms around the state. Looks like our showers in Barry, Calhoun, Kalamazoo County starting to fall apart a little bit. Again, this is where the lake breeze is at, just to the east of US 131 here, up towards Allen County, Clarksville, Greenville, towards Howard City is kind of the idea of where the lake breeze is currently at. So if you're west of that, you probably are dealing with some clear skies right now. This is somewhat back billing towards Fenton, so I can't really guys out yet for that.
I am here, Joel. I'm just going to eat in the background here.
Okay. Shelby says they just lost power in Lapeer.
Yeah, I also got a report via our subscriber chat. Power is flickering near Oxford as well, so might have some gusty winds out ahead of this.
Yeah, with the bowing, you kind of, if you loop it here, you kind of see how it bows out a little bit. Kind of underneath the radar right now, honestly. Let's see if I go up some tilts. There's actually a little bit of a scatter spike here towards Grand Blanc. Looks like some strong hail starting to pick up here right next to Goodrich, if not in Goodrich. And this is 69 dBz, which is a measure of how intense the rain is or hail. This is on the very western edge of the severe thunderstorm warning. Man, I am hot right now. I need this fan.
Yeah, get you a streaming fan, dude. It's going to help you significantly.
We're a little closer to me here. Jeez. Dying up here. I have a upper floor apartment, as you guys know, and heat rises. Val, we will be looking at that day 5 outlook here in the coming days. Again, it's 5 days out, so a lot of details to iron out, but 15% this far out is something that we will be monitoring closely. Let's go look at our vertically integrated liquid product. Oh, wow. Potentially a little bit of a hail core here in southeastern Shiawassee County, south of Bancroft. And a tiny one up here near Ashley. Again, that's a little far away from the radar. I would look at Grand Rapids, but again, it takes about 30 seconds to switch between radars. And that's 30 seconds of blankness and not reporting on things that we're currently seeing. So I'm just going to stick to our Detroit radar at the moment. Oh, yeah, it's pretty gusty here in northern Oakland County. Are we going to... We've got to be having Cody coming in here soon, I imagine. He's right to the west of Oxford right now. a storm up here in Ashley. Kind of did like a 1-2 handoff from Parrington over to Ashley. This is heading up towards St. Charles, rural parts of Saginaw County where it's really flat. I was out there today. Good view of this storm, I imagine. The other storms have a nice little cell. It just popped up in Waverly on the west side of Lansing over towards DeWitt. Nothing in terms of hail in that one yet. Potentially, again, some hail falling here south of Bancroft, south of Durand as well in Shiawassee County. These are really the only showers that are heavier at the moment other than our severe thunderstorm warning, which is currently still in effect. Kind of an update on the text here. Rain is in effect until 7:45 p.m., so it still actually has about 35 minutes on it. 6:56 p.m. Severe thunderstorm is located over Goodrich or also near Grand Blanc, moving south at 10 miles per hour. So again, if you live south of this storm, you have time to prepare, cover up your car. And again, if you are out driving or know someone that's out driving, make sure that they do not stop underneath an overpass. We'll always repeat this on our streams till the day we die. Never park on an overpass.
Amen.
6 mile per hour wind gust, core size sail, the hazard of this. Radar indicated. So if you guys have reports and want to make it public confirmed, feel free to tag National Weather Service Detroit on Facebook or X. And us too, if you want.
Yeah, we don't issue the warnings, guys, so it's vital that it's communicated to NWS. They're the ones who issue these warnings, and we just communicate those to you. So it's easier for people sometimes just to click our page and send us a message. We can relay that to NWS. But if you guys know and follow NWS, they always have messengers open to send your reports in. So anything Oakland County, just now entering northern Oakland County right now. So Oxford Charter Township, so Oxford itself, really, Ortonville, down toward Davisburg, Austin Corners, Jocelyn Acres, all the way up toward Oxford itself, Perry Lake Heights, Oakwood, Thomas. You guys are in the warning currently. We have our chaser, Cody Reynolds, going to be live with us. I'm assuming momentarily. He is right here with this green dot. I'll take my radar back here momentarily here. He's right at this green dot right here. And the storm is approaching quickly to his north. And this
Brian, did you see the Michigan Storm Community group?
I have not.
Nice pictures of the structure there. Kind of looks super cellular-ish.
Okay. Let's see if I can get permission for it.
Well, the reason why you don't want to park under the overpass in any scenario is because when one person does it, then another person does it, and then at some point, the entire highway is covered, even the lanes that you're supposed to travel in. And when you have people that aren't, stopping for anything, plowing in the back of you at 70 miles per hour, guess who's at fault? The people who are parked under the overpass. It just creates a whole problem, and it's like a follow the leader sort of thing. So definitely get off the highway. So just like get off the highway, park underneath. I would just say like a gas station, get under like a awning. Obviously not for like a tornado, obviously, but for hail at least.
Can we look at Holly? Holly is right now okay, but likely going to get some type of storm here with all these boundaries going off here. I mean, it's possible. But right now you're dry. Flint is currently outside any threat as well, so you're fine there. Yeah, I got a storm going up to my north here too.
Nice.
Take a peek at that real quick. And it's just a rain shower. How's Grand Blanc looking? Proper Grand Blanc downtown areas surrounding. Okay. If you go east of town, though, near Atlas or anywhere south towards 75, you're going to be in likely some large hail there. And yes, these are moving southeast at roughly 15 to 20 miles per hour.
I have a huge CC blue hue on my radar here. VIL seems to think the same. This is right on the edge of the warning box. So if you actually live outside of the warning box, just to the west of it at this point, oh my goodness. Look at this, Ryan.
Just got the update on my end, too. That's insane. Wouldn't be shocked if they extend that warning further into the very extreme portions of western Oakland County. Not by far, but we'll see. It's moving close to that box, so I don't think they need to update too much. But, yeah. Baldwin Road looks like about to cross 75 or rise 75. But, yeah, that's insane. Sheesh. Radar indicating as of 1 minute ago. Okay. It says just over an inch size hail. We'll wait for the next scan on that, though.
Goodrich Storm has a TBSS, third body scatter spike from the Gaylord radar.
All right, I got permission to post, so I'm going to be watermarking things real quick.
Okay, that's fine. Cody is zooming to the west now, looks like towards Ortonville, so he still says he has not a great shot of it. Oh my goshing for the hail. No rotation with this one. Yeah, it's confusing because obviously we use CC for both. So if this was a tornado, this would be like a debris ball. But in today's instance, again, so CC, for those who may have not heard me earlier, is to indicate how uniform in shape that a droplet or not a droplet is in size. So it's a non-unit, it's a scale without units. So it goes from 0 to 100. In that 90 to 100 range is just uniform droplets, so rain or snow, because it's roundish. And then you get to 90 to 80, which is your yellows, oranges, and even greens on here. That's where you're going to have droplets that are meteorological, but also not uniform. So you have hail, it has like spikes on it, so that's what it's picking up on here. And even down towards 80 and 70, which you're actually seeing here on your correlation coefficient, that would be even spikier hail, and not only spikier, but a lot more of it. But again, it would work the same for like if debris was, in the atmosphere. Debris is not round, obviously. So that's why you often see blues and even blacks on the correlation coefficient during a tornado. But this is all hail. Warning has not been extended to the west yet. I imagine they are going to be working on that here soon, but it is their call. We do not make the warnings. Man, if you're in extreme southern Genesee County right now, radar is indicating some heavy hail falling here, heading kind of along and parallel to I-75. I will not repeat myself, but you know what to do if you're on the highway and you're caught in a hailstorm. I will pan out a little second, kind of checking on these storms over here and loop them. Nice pop-up storm still ongoing here in southeastern Shiawassee County, and the storm entering western Saginaw County, heading towards Chesaning and St. Charles. I'm going to switch it to vertically integrated liquid here a little quick moment, kind of see if there's any hail. A little bit, probably pea size, but nothing compared to what's going on south of Goodrich right now. Then down towards Ryan here, that little shower in northern Lenawee County. Still trying to fight its updrafts a little bit, but it is struggling. Yeah. These two boundaries have officially collided, and look what's happening. All these showers just popping up in this area. I would imagine this might congeal into some sort of miniature line and head south here towards Livingston County, but we shall see. Wind velocity here. Heavier winds heading into Oxford at this moment. Still waiting on an update for a warning, but I'm not seeing any at this point.
Looks like the hail size currently is on the downtrend, potentially, looking at the latest VIL product and stuff like that. Looks like it's reached its peak and it's starting to weaken, so which is good news. But still, severe warning is still in effect here until 7:45, so 20 more minutes, 24 more minutes to be exact. So taking a little bit of a wider shot here, looking at these two storms that wasn't a line, congealed out of a line, or congealed into a line, then out of a line. Then we have all these pop-ups that are going off now across, man, let's go name some counties off here. Looking at Shiawassee, Ingham, back toward Clinton County, Genesee, up here near Ithaca in Gratiot County. All these are really just starting to pop up here. So kind of expected that via the models. We knew we had a little bit more coverage expected later on this evening. Just didn't know where exactly it's going to happen. And likely going to see an increase here as we head towards sunset, but these should sharply drop off as we lose the daytime heating and stability goes down and stuff like that. So these aren't expected to hang out too much longer. Do you know where Cody's at? Have a communication with him or no?
He still doesn't have a good shot of it.
Gotcha. Who's being dramatic?
Just reporting what I'm seeing.
Yeah, what do you mean by that, Boxer? Looks like Cody's going to the west now towards that storm coming out of Grand Blanc near the Ortonville area. Looks like he's actually close to Ortonville. Yeah, he's just on the south side of town there. These are all tracking mainly south-southeast. Go ahead and zoom out of this and track it here. This one up here in Ithaca is going more so northeast, looks like. And then this one down here is moving more so south-southeast. Now, this is what happens on days with weaker type of wind shear. We don't have anything to drive these storms in one direction. They can kind of meander their own way. And a couple days ago, we had storms going west to east, east to west. So reverse that. So we don't see that too often, but that's what happens sometimes when you have these weaker shear type of days. Perfect. Any one of these cells really, I guess, would contain maybe some small hail at this point, a lot of lightning. Again, the severe threat today is quite low. We're not really expecting too much to happen. We only had one hail report out of the state today, but these storms do contain some, good hail parameters today. Given we have good stability there through the column, and also we have some steeper lapse rates, which is a change of temperature with height and stuff like that, that can aid in the hail development. So didn't expect too much in the way of didn't expect too much in the way of significance of what's going to happen today and stuff like that. But on days like today when pop-ups happen, we always have a chance, we could get like a downburst type of, event or some large hail, stuff like that. And the reason that there was no severe threat today is because the environment was, I guess we can say, very low-end supportive of severe weather. So we didn't really expect too much in the way of coverage or intensity. There's no wind shear to organize and sustain these storms. So Usually, severe risks are for those that are more long-lived or widespread expected. And today was not one of those days that we expected this to be widespread, and it hasn't been, honestly. So there is some ingredients there that can support large hail, which is what we're seeing. But overall parameters across the state, not overly concerning at all. Hope that makes sense. Pea-sized hail in Grand Lake. Thank you. Looks like the storm is still on its way out, I'm going to say. Yeah, we had a good-sized hail core there. Whites and purple showing up. Then latest couple scans, it's just kind of weakened back out. I love that, Joel. I love that overlay.
Thanks.
Yeah,
did you see Detroit reached out on DM?
I believe they're just responding.
Yeah, they were just responding.
Oh, okay. They're asking
Alex
for
is
more.
in here.
Hey, guys.
They're asking for more information.
Oh, okay. I got it.
It's definitely looking to turn into a line. No, you don't. Hold on. Let me go to my radar here really quick. And loop it.
It's definitely spreading out, but it looks like those two cells might be just splitting off.
Yeah, that, and it's still back building a little bit and congealing into that storm that's in southeastern Shiawassee.
Yeah, you can see the those two outflow boundaries are looks like they're gonna touch off some storms here near Linden. In the middle there, looks like they're touching a few off there.
We're getting a lot of accumulating hail reports coming in on our Facebook page.
Yeah, these were quite the hailers, it looks like. It sounds like.
Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, that's a accumulation of snow. I believe they count that as a trace.
They do, yeah.
So sometimes when you see a random trace snow mount in the middle of June, just know it was probably accumulating hail. Yeah, once sunset comes, though, these storms will quickly die off. No rotation in Holly. Just inbound winds towards the radar at this point. Kind of checking the upper levels of the atmosphere here, see where it's cranking. Yeah. And this is just mainly a hail threat at this point. We'll loop the VIL, and you kind of see how that back built a little bit, as we keep mentioning.
I do want to pop on here and say if anybody here watching has any information or any more pictures and videos or any damage reports out of the Cass City area from earlier, there was a land spout that happened and looks like NWS is wanting more information. So if you guys have any information, direct message the page, let us know, or direct message NWS directly and let them know. They would appreciate that. is this coming towards Howell? I hear a lot of rumbling in the distance. So Howell, right now, you are in line for this. You are a little bit further. Wait, where is Howell? You're up here somewhere.
South, Livingston County. South of Flint.
There you are. I knew you were up here somewhere. You got some storms heading your way. Nothing severe at this point, but definitely could see some smaller type of hail with these storms. And if they continue to strengthen, they may have a severe hail or a couple instances, but not seeing that right now.
They just canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Genesee and Lapeer County. So the only portion of the severe warning still in effect is northern Oakland.
Yeah, I think this warning's in effect still for another, 10, 15 minutes here?
Yeah, 15 minutes. HRRR has so far verified this pretty well. I believe it kind of makes a C shape as the evening goes on, and it's kind of starting to do that. As you can kind of see here, following my mouse from Adrian through Jackson, up through central Ingham County, and then kind of back around along 69 and south. But these will continue to pulsate and head towards Detroit.
For those of you that don't know what he's referencing, the HRRR is a high-resolution forecast model that we use that simulates radar within the usually first 12 to 24 hours, up to 48 hours on some runs. And as he's mentioned, the HRRR runs that we've been seeing most of the day today, and even as early as I think last night, were hinting at this exact setup.
Alex, someone asked already about the lifting mechanism for today. I checked mesoanalysis at the 925 height, and it looked like there was a couple weak troughs in the area, but I'm not sure if that's true. I don't know if you want to check that out as to why these are lifting today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for the most part, there was that minor trough that rotated on through in the mid-level at 925 that kind of initially lifted these thunderstorms early this afternoon, partially along the lake breeze along US 131, that coincided with peak heating. So you're on it. I mean, that's basically what it was. And in terms of it was just timing why the east side of the state is seeing the at least more severe, stronger or severe storms, because as that trough is continuing to move east, you got a tiny little bit more shear over on the east side of the state. Not a ton, but enough for that little bit of hail.
Yeah, and those lapse rates are pretty steep today too, especially in the low levels.
The low-level lapse rates are very steep. I think 8 or 9 centimeters per kilogram. The mid-level lapse rates even are over 6. So definitely enough to get you some at least small hail, if not medium-sized hail.
Mm-hmm. It's got a picture in the comments from Davison of hail. It's accumulating hail. It's insane. I'm gonna see if I can get permission for it.
Oxford, you guys are, I don't know why you're saying it's starting to clear up there. It's heading right into downtown Oxford at this moment. As you can kind of see, it kind of split here. As Alex and I were both mentioning here, splitting around Ortonville a little bit. Ortonville, you're still getting hit with some rain, but
yeah, Oxford should be about to be seeing some pretty heavy rain here in the next minute or two.
Mm-hmm. There's some pea-sized hail still mixing in there.
Looks like Cody's right up on the storm now.
Mm-hmm.
He's up near the Austin Corners, Groveland Corners area, looks like. Between Holly and Ortonville. Looks like the hail cores on these are pretty subtle at this point.
Yeah, I'll show your Omega radar.
Oh yeah, I can do that. This is a hail tracker here. Now, if you go a few scans back, you're going to see how these hail cores look, which prompted the warnings here. We see them maxed out here, this white grayish color, indicating it's maxed out on this product here. And as that continues southward, it kind of broadens back out into a little bit lighter colors, which is indicating the hail may not be as large as it was. So nothing too concerning at this point. Maybe some small hail, like Joel just said, pea size, maybe dime size in there somewhere. But the majority of this looks like it's calming down for now, which is good news. But we do have additional development that has taken place basically from Lansing over to, we'll call it Imlay City. Likely have that continue to develop here as evening goes on. And again, severe threat today is still quite low. I know we had 2 warnings in the state, but still, that's still a pretty low threat here. Out of 83 counties, we only had 2 counties under a warning today. Not bad.
No, not at all. That eastern cell that split off there looks like it might. I don't. Can you check velocity on that eastern cell? Looks like maybe. I don't think severe winds, but maybe some gustier winds. As it's looks like it might start try to bow out just a little bit.
Yeah, it is. Looks like.
New special weather statement issued by the National Weather Service, Grand Rapids, for Gratiot County, south of Breckinridge, north of Ashley.
Yep. The cell up here near Ithaca.
You want me to get that on Facebook?
Please. Okay. Winds in excess of 40 as well as penny-sized hail. Bulk of this is going to be over Rathbone, Galloway, and Edgewood areas, moving to the, I'll say, east-northeast toward Langport and Lakefield. All right. A lot of lightning, heavy rain, some hail in there. That's about it. We'll watch that. I'll get that pulled up on my other radar up here, so we'll have an eye on that one just in case. Just got permission to share that, so get that watermark real quick. You guys gotta go check this picture out. It's of accumulating hail in Davison. I've seen pretty few pictures like this before. It's not, insane, but it's enough to catch your eye, that's for sure. All right. It's going up now. So severe warning is still in effect here for northern Oakland County. It expires in 6 minutes. The bulk of the hail core does look to be outside the warning right now, and what it does look like is it's pretty weak at this point. Not too overly concerned with this at this point in time. Would expect them to let that expire here. I wouldn't expect them to issue a new one at this point. It's possible in the coming minutes, or maybe should I say hour or two, but right now this particular storm and the ones surrounding it don't look overly impressive right now for severe weather. Okay. Hail picture is posted. You guys should go check that out if you guys want to see some cool hail accumulation.
And for those who are watching on YouTube, Facebook page is Michigan Storm Chasers. Make sure to click on the right page. We have a few false pages out there, and I have like 100 followers. Those are not the real accounts. Look for the one that has 126,000 followers now. We just passed that, so thank you very much for those who have followed along.
We appreciate each and every one of you guys.
Yes, we do.
And scrolling across the bottom of the screen, I put up our Get to Know Us banner. If you want to know us a little bit better, I guess, just check out our website, www.michiganstormchaser.com. We have a little profiles there about the 5 of us here on staff at Michigan Storm Chasers. No tornadoes.
I'm about to say that.
Yeah.
Metamora got hammered about 25 minutes ago. For 25 minutes, wind, hail. It's pouring down in Ortonville now. No hail. Where are you guys at in Ortonville here? All right. Yeah, that makes sense. These are going to be loud thunderstorms. A lot of lightning with these. Getting some pop-ups now further south. I think we already covered this briefly here. One in Jackson County just popped up heading my way, actually. Hopefully that holds out. I want to see a good storm tonight. Up here in Ingham County, looks like we have one popping up in southern Ingham, heading due east toward Hamburg there. There's also one down here by Chandler's neck of the woods, over here in St. Joseph/Branch County. Just popped up. These are just rain showers here. Shouldn't hang out too long.
Yeah, the ones that are further west, closer to my neck of the woods, less shear, less overall support. They've been kind of pulsing up and dying as even quicker than the ones further east.
That warning for northern Oakland has just been dropped from NWS, so they canceled about 5 minutes early. And that, I think, is going to do our coverage in for the night. Or not for the night, but for now at least.
For now, at least.
Yeah. Been out here for 2 hours. This is the second time we've gone live today, so appreciate you guys tuning in, watching us. But I think go ahead.
I was going to say, of course, we'll keep watching in the background. You know, we may not be live, but we're always watching. If more warnings do pop up, we will break back in.
And remember, we still have one special weather statement out there for Eastern Gratiot County.
Yep. It's going to expire here fairly soon as well. It's going to move out of that, should I say.
Maybe a potential one issued by Detroit for Saginaw County coming soon.
We'll see.
But we'll see, yeah.
Yep.
All right. If anything happens to go severe here between now and whenever, we'll be live.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.